Apple just introduced two new iPads. One of them, the fundamental iPad of the 10th generation, was completely rebuilt. On the other hand, the new iPad Pro is a far more straightforward upgrade. The business used the model from the previous year, switched the M1 chip for the M2, made a few other minor adjustments, and called it quits. The iPad Pro is still incredibly costly and ludicrously quick. Although the iPad Pro M2 12.9-inch is the greatest tablet Apple has ever produced, you can purchase a MacBook for the same price, and most people would probably find it to be a superior option. Before we get started, please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon without further ado. Let's watch the video. iPad Pro M2. Design and specs. The iPad Pro M2 doesn't physically differ from the iPad Pro M1 or the previous A-series model in any way. It comes in silver and space gray, as you might anticipate, has a 12.9-inch display, and has a small amount of buttons. A front-facing 12MP ultra-wide camera with Apple's center stage technology for keeping the subject in focus during video conversations is hidden by a thin bezel and a lock button. A camera module with 12MP wide and 12MP ultra-wide sensors that can shoot video at up to 4K is located on the rear. The Apple Pencil, which is available separately, can be attached magnetically to the right side and charged as well. It's still a clever trick a few years after it first appeared, which just helps to highlight how ridiculous it is that the 10th generation basic iPad includes an adapter to accomplish the same thing. That exhibit, though, continues to steal the show. Since it's still the greatest tablet display we've seen, it's the same mini LED backlighting that was first featured on the M1 edition, and we honestly wouldn't have it any other way. iPad Pro M2. Display. Aside from size, of course, the main distinction between the 11-inch and 12.9-inch iPad Pro M2 versions is the screen technology. The 12.9-inch replaces the excellent LCD of the 11-inch model with a dazzling mini LED display. The displays on this iPad Pro are identical to those on earlier versions, as are many other components. It's unfortunate that Apple didn't enhance the 11-inch device to have the same premium display as the 12.9-inch. Early rumors had suggested that this was inevitable, thus you should never take leaks at face value. The display on the 12.9-inch model, which I've been using for this review, is still the greatest I've ever experienced on a tablet, even if there haven't been any updates. Simply said, Mini LED combines some of the greatest qualities of LCD and OLED. Deliciously deep blacks are made possible because to the 2,500 dimming zones utilized here, which are especially apparent when playing back HDR material. The movie's gloomy scenes are accurately portrayed, as I would anticipate from OLED. However, the 1,600 nights of total potential brightness make sure that brighter scenarios, like explosions, are shown superbly. iPad Pro M2. Performance. When the move from the M1 to the M2 was announced, it came as a bit of a surprise, and it still causes some confusion. Although we could have anticipated more gradual improvements now that the M-series chips are available, it's similar to replacing your automobile's already extremely powerful engine with a larger one. The result is the same car, but it moves a little quicker. It seems like Apple is extending their lead given how far ahead of competing tablets the M1 was. They claim that the M2 processor is 15% quicker than the M1 chip, but in our testing, we couldn't see the difference when editing intricate photographs or playing the most recent games. The M2 appears to be geared toward creatives in terms of additional features. While Hover enables you to preview what the Apple Pencil will do before it hits the screen, ProRes video support enables you to record in a new, resource-intensive format. The final edition is a little detail, but it might greatly benefit digital artists. Unfortunately, there isn't much new to be thrilled about beyond what the M1 version is already capable of. Thankfully, iPadOS 16 adds a few new standout features that make it seem more like a laptop. However, it still lacks features like multi-user support and the additional customization choices for the lock screen included in iOS 16. A few more features are included with the M2 chip. For starters, this is the first iPad to support the speedier Wi-Fi 6E standard, which is a feature that people who just purchased a router that supports it will appreciate. The Apple Pencil now has a new function called Hover that displays a little indication on the screen that indicates where the tip is. Although useful for more elaborate drawings, this feels quite modest, and you must still buy an Apple Pencil separately. iPad Pro M2. Battery life. The iPad Pro M2's endurance is almost same from the previous model in every task I did, thus there are no significant improvements. Apple hasn't really improved the durability of any of their iPads in a while, with the exception of the Mini. You can truly adjust your use depending on how far you want to push it as a lower quality film in SDR, with the brightness set to a comfortable level, only lost 3% of its brightness in the same time period. In addition to the excellent braided USB-C to USB-C connection that has just been added, Apple still includes an 18W charger in the package. The average charging time is 160 minutes to get from 0% to 100%. iPad Pro M2. Price. Whether you utilize it or not, all of that power has a cost, and that cost is $1,099 for just 128 GB of storage. Given that there isn't an expansion option, you might want to choose the 256 GB model, which costs an additional $100 if the iPad Pro will serve as your primary device. As with the last instance, the iPad Pro is much more expensive than the MacBook Air when combined with a $349 Magic Keyboard and an Apple Pencil. It won't matter to you unless you truly need a touchscreen, but it's something to think about. That's all for today. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon. Thank you all.